Hello, everyone. My name is Dalen Rivers, and today I'm going to be talking about the silent killer of fish, aka the nitrogen cycle. This process can sound very scientific and confusing, but hopefully I can break it down in a manner that's a lot easier for people to digest. Um, you know, as you can see, I'm a very avid fish keeper. This is a hobby that I really, really enjoy, and hopefully after listening to this, can put your mind at ease. If you ever want to start a tank of your own. So that being said, some of the reasons that I keep aquariums, it's very stress relieving. Um, Humans are drawn to the sound of running water. Something that I really enjoy. It's very calming. What better way to do that than have an aquarium in your home? Also, I find it very challenging. I almost feel like a mad scientist whenever I have to check my water parameters and things of that nature. It's very fun, to me. It's also incredibly rewarding whenever you get everything right and you succeed. You get to enjoy very beautiful fish thriving in a ecosystem much like their natural habitat. So getting into the nitrogen cycle, very simple. If you ask yourself a question, what is the nitrogen cycle? Like I said before, it sounds incredibly scientific. It is, but it's not. It's pretty simple, and I'm going to try to break that down so that people can understand it in a much easier way. Starting off, a lot of people do not even know that there is a thing called the nitrogen cycle and how important it is to keeping a very healthy aquarium. Looking at this diagram that I have here, starts off with fish food or fish waste, either or. They create a toxic chemical, it's labeled here as ammonia, extremely toxic. Okay? From there, once that source is introduced into a fish tank, it's going to cause a beneficial bacteria strain to grow. From there, that compound, ammonia, is going to be broken down into something called nitrite. Okay? That is a less harmful chemical. Once it is broken down into that substance, from there, another strain of beneficial bacteria are going to start to grow in your ecosystem or your aquarium, and it will be broken down into something called nitrate. Nitrate is the least harmful of all of these chemicals and is the end process in the nitrogen cycle. The only way that this can be removed from an aquarium or body of water is going to be let's see here, plants use nitrate, which is also known as nitrogen, as fertilizer, to grow, things of that nature, or something as simple as a water change. You will remove a certain percentage of your water, and from there you will add it back, and it will remove a portion of those nitrates and keep them at an acceptable level for your inhabitants of your aquarium. Like I've said twice already, it sounds very confusing, but it's not. And I'll explain a little bit further with the help of devices that test your water. You can keep tabs on these very easily, and you can do this entire cycle without putting any fish or inhabitants into your aquarium so that you don't have to worry about any of them dying or anything of that nature. Okay. If you were to add fish to an uncycled aquarium, things that you need to look for, right? So let's say you have an aquarium that is set up in your house as we speak. You didn't know that the nitrogen cycle existed. These are things that you can look for and hopefully spot them before your fish either pass away or get irreversible illnesses or diseases, right? Signs of distress. We have a fish who clearly is in some sort of distress, right? We have illness, lethargy, buoyancy issues, and gasping for air. Okay? Illnesses that you can look for. Right here we have a slight fungal infection on a fish. Over here we have a disease known as ick. Okay? Presents itself as white dots on the outside of the fish. This is caused by stress. Okay? A fish can be infected with this disease known as ick for its entire life and never show any symptoms and be none the wiser and be happy, right? But if it becomes extremely stressed, ammonia levels, nitrite levels, or your nitrate levels are very high in the tank because it's not cycled, it can cause this to present itself. It's highly contagious and can take out an entire population of fish if not dealt with. Something else you can look for are buoyancy issues. We have something known as swim bladder disease in fish. That being said, as you can see, pretty simple. Fish have a appendage known as a swim bladder that keeps them floating in a tank. They can put air into it, things of that nature, to keep them where they need to be so they can swim properly. If your fish is having issues swimming, it could mean that your tank is not cycled. Something else to look for, like I said before, gasping for air. Your fish stay at the top of the aquarium and they're gasping for air. Okay, an uncycled tank has a hard time of keeping the correct amount of dissolved oxygen in the water column, and it can cause them to exhibit symptoms as such. Okay, like I talked about before, something very simple you can do to keep track of your water quality. I use something called, it's by the brand API Freshwater Master Test Kit. Comes with a bunch of vials. They look like these, okay? As you can see, there are some colors associated on this. Not sure how well the video is picking this up, but from here, I have a yellow and I have a light blue, okay? So the two main things that you need to check for, three things, are going to be your ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate. Like I said, ammonia being the most deadly, nitrite to follow, and the nitrate being the less deadly, right? So the main two things that you want to test for are going to be ammonia and nitrite, okay? This was an ammonia test that I did on one of my tanks to ensure that it's stable, okay? Looking at these pictures here, you can see that 0 parts per million of ammonia, so the least possible amount in your water column, is going to be a light yellow. This water test indicates that I have no ammonia. So that means that the ammonia has been turned into nitrite. We go over here, okay? This is a light blue color. It is the lowest possible reading as well. Very good. That means that my water has then processed the nitrite into nitrate. I don't have a test for reference on that, but that being said, that means that my tank is cycled and it's working effectively to keep the water non-toxic for my fish. Okay? Very simple process to check these water parameters. Anybody can do it and keep fish effectively. Okay? Signs of a thriving ecosystem. Something you want to look for. After you get through the cycling process, you want to look for natural behaviors in fish, right? Swimming freely, interacting with other inhabitants of the tank in a nice fashion. They have good appetites, they eat, they're eager to eat. Fish are insatiable. You can never feed them too much. Oh, I'm sorry, you can feed them too much. They'll never stop eating, ever, okay? Breeding can also be a good sign that your water quality is very good and you've matched the parameters that fish or inhabitant needs to thrive. If they breed, they are very, very happy. It's not very easy to get fish to breed in an aquarium, and if you do, you're doing a great job. Okay, thank you for listening. Like I said, this sounds like a scary topic, but it's not. It's easy to do research to figure out what needs to happen so that you can keep an aquarium and get those stress relieving qualities that I talked about. Like I said, thank you. I appreciate it very much.